Hey guys, Wasabi Wizard here. This video is dedicated to Raphael and John, who are commenting on my previous video and giving me some tips. I follow them here. I don't do a perfect job, but I do a pretty okay job. It's progress, guys. Keep following. In this video, I'll be giving some commentary to some 3v3s I was playing. We were playing Elemental, Affliction, Holy Paladin again. I was playing with a different team this time, though. I'm going to walk you through the talents and PvP talents I pick every match and kind of walk you through what's going on during the matches. So for the first match, you can see my talent build here. Nothing really too surprising. This is pretty much the same build I use every time. The only thing I'd switch up is Stun Totem and Earth Grab. And so for this game, we're going against a Destruction Warlock and an Elemental Shaman. I choose Earth Grab, and I do this because I think I'm expecting positioning to be a really big deal in this fight. We want to make sure we're line of sighting for those Destruction Chaos Bolts, and even for the Elemental, we want to make sure that we can play defensively. And then also offensively, if we catch them in the open and I can lock them down in place for a few seconds to get a full cast out, this will help my Warlock get his UA spam, and this will help me get maybe an Ice Fury and a few instant cast Frost Shocks. Now for the PvP talents. Gladiator's Medallion is what I usually choose on the first tier. This gives me control over when I want to get out of the CC. I'll sometimes pick Relentlessness for when I'm against a team that has a lot of small CCs, like a few second roots all the time, or something where I know I'm going to be CC'd or slowed down or controlled a lot. For the next tier, I take Mind Quickness. The increased haste is pretty nice, and I don't take the 15% damage increase because I usually have some form of damage on me. The next tier, I've been really favoring Sky Fury Totem. It's just amazing when you can control that additional burst using Ice Fury into that to raise the damage of those Frost Shocks is pretty incredible. Counter-Strike Totem, just not as big of a fan of anymore. I use it sometimes for melee cleaves, but to be honest, I haven't seen it be extremely impactful lately. For the next one, Swelling Waves is what I always pick, which is, only affects me, but it's pretty great. Fire and Ice for those Frost Shocks and increased damage on Flame Shock. And then Earth Fury is what I've been using for the last tier. This is because the stuns are just pretty awesome, and when I do Chain Lightning against any team with pets, I get so much Maelstrom. It's pretty fantastic, and I can Earth Fury stun a lot, which is, you'll see it becomes pretty clutch at certain times. Alright, so the match starts out and we're coming out of the gates. Our plan here is to line of sight the Destro Lock, line of sight the Elemental, control the damage, and just wait for our Rot to wear them down. So right now, basically what's going on is I'm just trying to throw my Frost Shock out to get some Maelstrom build up, and this Elemental Shaman gets a little ambitious coming out in the open here, so I just move back. Their Lock's moving up a little bit. The Elemental is pretty cocky, though. He's really out in the open, and my Lock starts to build up some UAs. You can see 2, now 3 UAs. I start to get a lot of procs going on, so I start comboing it together, and now I go in for the big damage with Ice Fury. I start to spam Frost Shock, and he just gets lit up. It's kind of what we said, though. I mean, positioning was the major factor in this match. Their Elemental Shaman just stood out in the open and let the UA stacks build. I came in with probably 4 procs of Lava Burst, or probably 1 hardcast, 3 procs, and then Ice Fury came in to finish him off. It was a real quick match. Their Holy Paladin was not ready for that type of burst. This match, I keep the same PvP talents, Sky Fury, Earth Fury. For my talents, though, I switch over to Lightning Surge Totem. This is because there's a Feral Druid, and I want to be able to peel effectively for my teammates in case they need it. So the game starts out, and I go to the left pillar. The rest of my team goes to the right pillar. Not really sure why. I start to throw out some Flame Shocks to get instant cast Lava Bursts. I like doing that at the beginning of the match. It builds up my Maelstrom, and I get some instant cast across the field, putting some early damage in. It's not that big of a deal, but the Maelstrom can make a difference. So you can see I'm trying to throw out those Flame Shocks, not really too effectively. I Flame Shock the Pet to be another target to start to build up my Maelstrom. I also set the Shaman as my focus target, and as you see here, I'm getting a lot of procs for Lava Burst. That's 4 right there, and I also have Earth Fury stun ready in case I want to use it. We're just putting out some damage, and then the Feral Druid pops a stun on me. He's in a pretty bad spot, really far away from his team, and then he's feared immediately by the Warlock. He switches over to our Holy Paladin, but with my Earth Fury stuns and the dots starting to build up on him, like you can see, There's 4 UAs on him right now. He gets real scared and starts to scurry back home. He starts to line of sight us, which then stops our damage a bit. So here, while he's stealth, we decide to go on to the Resto Shaman. So on the Resto Shaman, we start to just, I'm trying to interrupt him. So now we're just trying to take control of the map again. The Warlock's pretty close to our team and is starting to put out a little bit of dot pressure. You can see our health is, most of us are around 80%. We then get the Resto Shaman in a fear. He gets put out in the open and we start to get some big damage on him. He starts to run away and I Earth Shock stun him pretty hard, and then I start to spam my Ice Furies, and that gets him pretty low and he gets pretty scared. He starts to run away. I get 2 Lava Burst procs and turn around to get the Druid, who's far away in line of sight of his healer, and that, along with my last Ice Fury Frost Shock, finishes the match. So for this match, I didn't actually open up my talent page, so it's the same thing as the last match.
It's too far away.
So this is RMP, so I'm a little nervous here. So they come in pretty close to us. The rogue opens, the mage is out. I start to purge the mage. They're all stacked on top of each other, so I decided it's a good time to stun them all. So I start to chain lightning them a lot, and I use Stormkeeper to start spamming that and getting some big damage out early. As you can see, the mage is about 50% now. I get feared, and I just eat it. And I'm trying to get back up there. I have this clever idea. Let's use Thunderstorm. So I stun the rogue. Our target is... we don't really have a target. I'm mostly trying to keep the mage interrupted and the damage on the priest. So the mage is below. They're all dotted up. I'm trying to keep the priest controlled and interrupted at this point. He starts to dip pretty low. If you see, the mage's health is out very, very low. He hasn't used any defensives yet. I'm keeping the priest under control, doing a lot of damage to the priest. The priest shields are keeping him up at this point. And then the mage just goes down due to the amount of pressure that we're putting out between the rogue mage and the priest was controlled up top with me for the whole match. For this game, it's DK Arms Mistweaver, so it's another melee cleave. For this one, I'm using my standard Honor Talent build with Sky Fury. For my talent build, I'm using Earth Grab to try to give them some control since they don't have our freedom from a Paladin. I'm expecting to be able to do some peeling using Earth Grab. So the match opens up, and my job is to keep them as slowed as possible. We know they're going to go on the Warlock, so my job is use Earth Grab on cooldown, use Earth Bind on cooldown, try to get hexes out as much as I can. So I just open out with a hex on the DK. It's broken instantly. He doesn't use a trinket. As you can see, they're doing a great job focusing the Warlock. The Warlock's peeling off by doing a fear on the DK, bringing him out to Narnia. I'm trying to put some damage pressure out at this point. We're just trying to exhaust their cooldowns and then just let the rot take over. So now I'm using Ice Fury and Stormkeeper to get the maximum amount of Maelstrom and to just be able to spam those Frost Shocks. I do a really bad job here of getting caught up in the moment, getting disoriented, missing out on my Frost Shocks. So I apologize for being bad. So here we're just trying to again keep the melee away from the Warlock as much as possible. I'm putting down Earthbind on cooldown. I need to do a better job at that. Obviously right now it's not. I'm doing a lot of chain lightning between the DK and the warrior to just stack my Maelstrom to get that Earth Fury stun out. The DK gets pretty low here and pops AMS. I'm instantly switch off and start to apply pressure to the healer to hopefully reduce the amount of heals he can give to the DK. And I just continue to push on the Mistweaver because apparently that's working pretty well. So here we get him pretty low. I have Stormkeeper up and I just chain that together with an Earth Fury stun and he goes down. So in this next match, it's Resto Druid, Elemental Shaman, Windwalker Monk. So for this match, I use Earth Grab Totem, thinking that they don't have a freedom, so we're going to be able to control the positioning much better with Earth Grab. I can root the healer behind line of sight. I can root someone out in the open to get the UA stacks and big damage out. For my PvP talents, I take Sky Fury and everything else that I've been taking every other time. So the match starts, and we want to hide behind this pillar to control some damage. The Ellie gets pretty ambitious. He comes out in the open. I miss a cast, but then get some initial damage on him. The Windwalker's trying to get pretty close while the Resto Druid's pretty far out there. We're just hugging each other behind this pillar, trying to stay close. So now that we're back here, we're just trying to line of sight the Ellie here. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get hexed by him. And I can just throw out hexes on whoever I need to, either the Druid if he stays out in form, or the Ellie if he stays out in the open and lets me cast that. So anytime the Ellie's using Ice Fury, I try to jump away, just knowing that there's such a big damage potential coming out of that, because I know that damage. So here I get some pretty huge combos with Earth Fury. I throw out Sky Fury and get some instant cast Lava Bolts, and now I'm spamming that Frost Shock on the Ellie, trying to get big damage. And then I frog the Windwalker just to try to relieve pressure, knowing that it can be dispelled, but maybe they won't do it. So now I'm trying to still just keep pressure up between the DPS, and I see that the Resto Druid's getting a little low, so I start to dot him up. Right now I'm trying to line of sight the Resto in case he tries to do any cycloning. And I see the Resto's dipping very low. I interrupt the regrowth around the corner. He keeps running. He keeps line of sighting me. I'm trying to get a full cast off. I Earth Fury him for a lot of damage, and then I start spamming those Frost Shocks. He dips pretty low, but the Monk comes in to CC me. I know I have Skykeeper up, so I use that. I get a few instant cast Lava Bursts, 3 of them. He runs around the corner, and I know I got him. The Druid actually was repentanced by our healer. I then Earth Fury stun him, and then thrust him into the wall using Storm. So that ends the match. Enjoyed the commentary? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. If you want to see any other comps or guides or anything like that, let me know what you guys want, and I'll make those videos.